All right, so today we have a special guest, a young man who has been seeing UFO sightings. He has been recording them, a brother by the name of Joshua Key, and he's going to tell his story. So I want you guys to listen to what he has to say because it goes and lines up with everything that is written in the scriptures. All right, so the brother's going to tell his story, and we're just going to have a good conversation.
I appreciate it, Rob. How you guys doing? Yeah, Joshua Key, 37 years old. Been living in Virginia for about 14, 15 years, probably more. Um, I'm not a, I'm what you call just your average UFO person. You watch the movies growing up, you think it's cool, um, but not into the effect where I'm buying equipment, um, meet scopes and having a UFO conference with like-minded people. But I got a regular life, man. I play basketball. Um, I work for a chemical plant. Um, I just do my just like everybody else.
So you didn't. So you don't. You didn't have like a religious experience. You don't see the UFOs as that for you.
Oh no, not at all. As far as the religion thing, growing up in North Carolina, the Bible Belt, of course, Baptist, and that's what we was taught, But as I grew up, you ask questions to your pastor, you ask questions to any religious person, and it's kind of a you don't really get the answer that you're seeking, so you just kind of like me, I kind of stay out of it. I know there's a higher power. I know there's things that we can't foresee, or there's things that happen that we just can't explain, or there's definitely something good and bad, and um. But anyway, I say it to say like I'm just a regular person. So
So would you say what's the question I'm looking for? So what you have seen and recorded, did you know that these things were captured in the Bible and other books?
no, sir. Like I said, that's a whole can of worms. Not saying it's a can of worms, but it's just a whole rabbit hole that you have to go down. Different type of religion, different type of everything. So like me, I'm I got to work. I got to do my day to day routine. So I guess I'm not saying I'm not interested in it. I am, but just to the point where I'm just trying to do my day to day. At least right now. Again, with this before this UFO stuff happened.
So what did you initially think when you first encountered these craft?
I thought I was going crazy. I thought that I didn't see what I saw, but when the craft comes back into view multiple times, which allows me to get out of first the initial shock and then record, um, is multiple times where I should have just seen, I guess, the craft and it should have been gone and I shouldn't have recorded it. Because first of all, I'm in shock. Second of all, these UFO usually don't stay around. They're usually out of there. Or you got the ones where it's just a little ball. But not only if the UFOs are moving around and doing stuff, it's catching my attention. And we'll go down that as we kind of do like a timeline of these events. Um, my first UFO sighting, which before that point, I was just like everybody else. You think it's cool or not as such a fan. You just a regular average UFO person. If as far as TV sci-fi channel, you just regular. So up until that point, you look on YouTube and you see UFO stuff and you get reports, and then of course recently, it's coincidental that I'm seeing the UFO stuff because the government, I guess, came out. Some of the people come out and say, "Hey, this stuff it's legit." So yeah, it's crazy that the timing of this stuff is just happening because now if I didn't see that officials, government people coming out with, I probably wouldn't be doing any of this because of what I saw, what I recorded, and then the stigma that comes behind it. people getting missing, stuff happened to them. And I'm still right now, because what I got and what I saw, I'm still kind of same way.
So you feel that at this point, because you've seen them multiple times, right?
Multiple times. I got it recorded. It's clear they're doing things. Multiple times.
So you believe at this point they're interacting with you?
I mean, at first I didn't think. I just thought it was just coincidence that I was just like one of those right place, right time. But when I go back to the first initial video of my first sighting, the craft literally pretty much displayed itself, because I thought it was just a plane just coming towards my view. So when I was waiting for the craft, before I knew it was a UFO to come by into view, it stopped. It stopped in midair. I have a view of open sky. And as a matter of fact, before we go, I kind of just want to just kind of break down the beginning because I don't want to get too into it. I want kind of, once I start the story, I kind of want to just go into the timeline. But yeah.
All right. So I want, for my audience, I just want to, say that what's happening to him, we have to document what is really happening, because at some point we are told, for those of us that do read the Bible, we are told that the angels, or our ancestors, who will come down and they will begin to monitor certain people, because they're going to gather us from off this earth at some point. And so I think that this is what's happening to you. I think God is surveillancing you. And I think that that's a good thing. I think that when you said that, that you feel like they're interacting with you, I think that that's a positive thing. So if I could read this real quick, what is recorded here in Matthew chapter 24, verse 31, when it says, "And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trump, and they shall gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other." I think that's what's happening to you. And I think that you're right. I think that the powers that be, the government or whoever, I think they already have interacted with people, so they don't have to interact with, say, like what's happening to you. You're not going to get that knock on your door, because they've already investigated enough claims to know what you're experiencing. But go ahead and tell your story.
Okay, so just get into the breakdown now. I want to give you the story, kind of not fast, not slow, just kind of right on, and just move along, because it's a lot of layers, and then those layers can be peeled back even more. So before we even peel back those, we're just going to stay at the surface, and I'm just going to give you just a straight up what happened. So it is May 16th at this point. It is approximately around 8 a.m. I worked the night shift, 5:45 p.m. to 5:45 a.m. So usually on days like this, I usually get my workout right after the gym, get ready. But anyway, it's a regular day. I get into the gym parking lot, and for some of course, it's usually empty. So you got multiple parking spots you can pick. And for some reason, I just picked this one spot. It's like in the middle of the parking lot of my gym. Ain't gonna say what name it is. But maybe later on, But I'm talking to my girlfriend before she goes to work. She's actually on the phone when this first UFO sighting took place. But anyway, my car is parked. I'm facing the open air. It's a clear sky, couple white clouds. Again, 8 a.m., 8:44. I see a craft. I'm thinking it's a plane coming overhead as I'm talking to my girlfriend. Before I can get a good look of it, it stopped in midair, and that's the word I'm gonna use. It panned back, or it zoomed back, and as if, like you said, you turn off the TV, gives that bloop, it panned back and disappeared right in the air. Before that point, I'm thinking maybe I had a long night. Maybe I'm just seeing things. The craft comes back. And then at that point, I'm telling my girlfriend, I think I see a UFO. I'll call you back. I think I tried to at least put my phone up in the air and try to get something. It disappeared. And like I said, I didn't have to get out my car. I didn't have to look around, scour. This was all from my driver's seat as I'm parked in the middle of the parking lot of the gym. So I got it's like as if I'm sitting down and my dash or it's like the movie. It's like as if I'm at the movie because I'm facing the open air. But anyway, the craft comes back for like the third time. I think I put my phone up and I get it. And then one of the times, man, I asked my girl what time it was as I'm seeing this UFO. She says 8:44, but we'll get into the numbers later on. So at that point, I don't believe what I saw. I don't believe it. I know I put my phone in the air to at least try to get it, but at that time I didn't know I got anything on my camera. So I go in the gym, shoot around, play basketball. And I said, hey, let me just get my phone out and just see if I got anything. And then to my eyes, man, there's this one individual unidentified object. I don't know what it is, but it's metallic orb ball. And you see it comes from thin air, clear sky. The object comes out of thin air. And when it comes out of thin air, it's going between disappearing, see-through, disappearing, see-through, disappearing, and then it goes into like a solid form. You can't see through it. It's just it's cruising just at a small speed, at least up in the air, from what I'm saying, small speed, and it just cruises across the sky and just go. So that's what I call on camera. Now that was the first UFO sighting, the first of like 4. Yeah, the only thing I could describe, if you've seen the movie Predator, when the Predator is in chameleon mode, and right before he goes to like the solid form, he kind of trickles back and forth, or anything that goes invisible or something, like on your TV screen or something, it goes to that phase where it's see through, and then once I guess it goes into solid form, you can't see through, and it's a solid object. But like I said, that's the first of like 4 sightings.
So at this point, what are you thinking?
I'm beside myself because I didn't record when the UFO, or at least I gotta check back in my camera. I didn't record when the UFO stopped in midair and just zoomed back and disappeared, because it was just with my live eyes, and at that point I just couldn't believe what I saw. But I believe what I saw because I got the video of it coming into appearance from another part of the sky. Like it's nothing, and just like I said, goes to final like solid form of the marble, and it just cruises. It's not trying to get away. It's not trying to, like, it just lets me know it's there, and it looks like I got the video. It's going like it's like 5 miles an hour, and just like nonchalantly, like. And at first I'm thinking, like, I'm not thinking it's a UFO. I thought it was a UFO because of technology, but it's like, okay, it could be government. It's either one of the two. But that's before I had all the other UFO sightings. But at that point, I'm kind of still thinking it's something government wise.
Now, one of the things that I want to say is, and why I wanted to have this interview, is I think from my position, from where we see things, is that this is significant what's happening to you, because your first name is the Son of God's name in Hebrew. Like if you was to translate it to English, it would be Joshua. And your last name means in Hebrew, the opener. So this is significant. So now we have here sitting down with me with because I go by the name on this channel, Adaptodon, right? So you have Adaptodon, and sitting right next to me is a man whose name means Ahawashai, the opener, who is having this experience of seeing the chariots of the Lord, right? That's what we call them, right? And so one of the things I want to read real quick before I pass this back to you is to read Enoch 69, where it describes these chariots as the chariots of that there's spirits inside these chariots. And that goes back to what you said about being able to see through them at one moment and then they materialize because these spirits, our ancestors can switch forms. They can put on flesh or be physical, or they can go back to their celestial form. And so this is what Enoch had to say. He says, after this, the name of the Son of Man, living with the Lord of spirits, was exalted by the inhabitants of the earth. It was exalted in the chariots, or what you call UFOs, the UFOs of the spirit, right? And so I think that at this point, listening to, Joshua's, accounts, I think that we as Black people, we need to really now begin to change our perspective of what's happening with these crafts and what they're doing with us, because I do believe that this craft, the Heavenly Father is singling Joshua out because he did that to me. And I think a lot of us is having this experience where you see these crafts or these orbs because they'll come down in light form and they'll come right straight, like they came straight up to me. And so I think what's happening to him, I mean, just by his name alone is a message. And I'm glad that you shared this with me, but you want to continue?
Yeah, I do, man. Because it's again, I'm just trying to keep it not go down the rabbit hole, but just giving you the accounts, and then we'll peel back the other stuff later. But I gave you the first sighting, which was on the 16th of last month. What's where we at now? Last month was May. Yeah, May 16th. Again, I got video. Not like uh, a millisecond. I got like one's like a minute long. A couple like. But anyway, my second sighting. So it was that Thursday the 16th. I saw the first one. I'm freaking out, kind of, sort of, because like I don't, I got it on video now. Now I'll show people, and whoop de whoop. So this Sunday rolled around. That following Sunday, and this is a different location. The first UFO sighting was above my gym, 8 a.m. This is a Sunday, that following Sunday, and it's probably around 6:30, 7. And this time I'm at my apartment. And it's a clear day, couple clouds, of course, but clear, beautiful sky. Park my car like I usually do, coming from the gym, and I'm not gonna lie, this probably the only time that I actually actively try. Well, I always try to look to find the UFOs, but it don't work like that. But this particular time, I look for the UFOs, and you're not gonna believe this, man. This takes the cake to me. Out of all the UFO videos I got within these short week span, in my opinion, this is the most craziest one, because that one UFO or UAP or wherever it is, like I'm just saying, like I'm just telling you, I'm not even gonna call it a UFO. Like, I'm just saying, I'm so on the sidelines. I'm not on no. I'm on the sidelines here, so I'm not, for the sake of argument, I'm not calling it a UFO. But that thing, I'm gonna say thing, because that way you can say thing now. And with all due respect, you gotta say thing. The thing I saw on Thursday, it was literally 60 to 70. So 60, 70. So you can hear that number above my apartment. They were just like that one object, teleporting, being translucent. But man, it was like it was a crew up there. It was like traffic up there. It was just someone going at supersonic speed that you, on my recording, you got to freeze it. If you don't freeze it right, it'll blow by. You got others just cruising, stopping, just having a good old time. Meanwhile, I'm filming this, and I still can't believe what I see. Literally, man, 60, and it's probably more than that. But I have a minute and 14 seconds. I could have recorded more, but I just stopped because it's like, what the hell I'm seeing? But yeah, that was the second one.
you said, you told me that there's a certain way that you have to see them, I believe.
So like, so again, I'm on the outside, but so before I saw the UFO sightings, man, and I guess like I said, I did somewhat have like an awakening, where a person kind of see things for what it is. So I did have a moment when, eh, music, what you see, like everything was like, I just found out that this place is all messed up. Like everything is like, it's not like it is. But anyway, I did this thing called sun gazing. This ties into how I saw the crafts. They said, like, in the spiritual, black spiritual community, sun gazing, or it may be in other communities too, but they say sun gazing is something that's we we can benefit from it. And again, I'm no expert, so I picked up that what I learned back then about the sun gazing, and so when I saw before I saw the craft, I just looked at the sun. I just looked at the sun, try to get used to the sun. Um, and it's intense, but once you got to, breathe and stay at it, but once you get used to the sun, you can see the round circle. And I don't know what possessed me, or what I'm gonna say possessed. I don't know what prompted me to look into the sun, to just, I don't know, but I got used to the sun. I get out my car. I'm heading upstairs to my apartment, and when the sunlight hit my apartment, I was able to see through the sunlight. And it sounds crazy, but I got the video, and that's when I seen all the crafts. I saw all of them, and it was just, it's like I say, they were playing by the sun as if they knew this sun is too bright. Ain't nobody's not gonna be looking up here. But I guess certain ones, because I found myself looking at it. I got the video, man, HD or 4K or whatever you want to say it. But they're all out there doing crazy maneuvers. It's just straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Where do you think that this is going to lead? What's the path?
I mean, I don't know if the UFOs or the aliens or whatever are scared or whatever, or I don't know, but it's like, from what I seen, they weren't trying to hide or they weren't doing anything. They were just up there just having a good old time. I like I said, I don't know the demeanor, but I can just go off how something moves. If you're scared or something, you kind of move fast, or they were relaxed, man, relaxed movements, and versus how fast they can get. They can get super fast where you just can't see it. Not even on your camera, you can't even see. You got to have special cameras to even chop up the seconds to even catch them. And by the grace, I, I, I don't know how I got these things on my phone, because
Are you aware that there's footage of these crafts hanging out by like the space shuttle and stuff, like what you're saying?
yeah, man. And again, I see some. Not all the UFOs or fake or real, whatever. But there's ones, like I said, when you get those NASA footage that they try to cut the feed right after something happens. And like I said, like, I'm still one of those. I was one of those, like, oh man, that's pretty cool, man. Like, But yeah, man. I don't know. I'm beside myself right now because this stuff is insane. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, you got that name, man. And so let me go back to your name, because we are taught through our customs that we name our children based upon someone who had that name. No, well, you will get to them, but that's the special thing about the name part, is whoever named you was naming your descent from something. And so you may be living proof. You may be living proof that the guy that the world calls Jesus Christ is really real, because now whoever named your father, your mother, whoever, they downloaded that from their consciousness, from our ancient consciousness, to rename you again. Like if if you become a pope, what do? Well, you have to have a name of a former pope. You just cannot pop up and say and have a name of somebody new. So they know that we're reincarnated. So your name almost points out your family, as descending from the royal family, because you have that name. And the last name, the overall family name is Key, which means the opener in Hebrew. But how do you say it?
A lot of people say
Key. Okay.
but I never.
Either or, right? All right, but let me read this real quick, because you said that you saw thousands, like 70, 70, 70.
It's more than that, man. I just it's close, coming by, moving fast, moving slow, but then as you look close to the sun, it's like they're all up there, man. And you just like the light just bouncing off. I mean, and one thing out of all these videos, I got like 5 or 6 of them. You know, one thing you can take away from any of all the videos, the movements and the light.
Well, what's the movement?
Like I said, they can just move in supersonic speed. They can slow down. They can just appear. They can disappear. They can be translucent or whatever.
Are they flying like man-made airplanes, like in uniform, or are they just doing what everybody's doing? Whatever.
They're just doing whatever, man. Like I said, man. Man, like I said,
Well, the reason why I asked you that is because it says that they fly like doves. So if you ever look at doves flying, they don't fly like other birds. Doves just fly like all over the place.
yeah, man. So they have like that's the regular flight pattern, normal, and then they go into this. Like I said, everybody's doing. But I'm saying, like, I have like the videos when it's just one. You know, I got multiple ones when there's a lot of them, but then I got a couple of different days when it's just one. And
all right, so this is Psalm 68:17, right? And it says that the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels, and the Lord is among them, as in Sinai, the holy place, right? And I think that this is what you're seeing and what you're experiencing is. That's why I asked, what do you think that this is going to lead to? I think this is going to lead you back to the Creator. And a lot of people don't understand, when we see these crafts are not like physical human beings are in them. Like our ancestry. Well, you can say, some people call them light beings. Some people, say spiritual. But what they're saying is that we're a different type of matter. We have our processor, which is our brain, has the ability to come down here and put on physical form. And then it also has the ability to transform back to whatever they are. You know what I mean? But this is the thing I want the listeners to hear, is that, it's telling us that the Lord is among them. And so at some point, your interactions, what you're seeing, is the Lord himself is going to reveal himself, because he's among these crafts. That's insane, ain't it? Like if nobody showed you that, you would never know. You know what I mean? And it says he this is where, these crafts is heaven. That's heaven that you're seeing going over top of your head. Those are aspects of different heavens. And then one of them is him. He's there. He's not somewhere where they think that he is. And so as you're having this experience, other people are having this experience. This is the doorsteps of a whole nother reality.
yes, we got 2 sightings so far, right? So I got you like one on Thursday, the 16th, and then that following Sunday, whatever date that is. I'm just ad-libbing this. This ain't, like I said, I'm just telling you like it is, man. Sometimes I wish that it was just something that, hey, it was just a toy or something, or it was just a drone. Like sometimes I just, because like once I always tell people, once you see, you can't And it's one thing to
I say that. You see it?
yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's one thing to see it, but to capture it, record it. But man, okay, okay. So all right, so let's. I guess I get into my next sighting.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
this is the third. This. So I told you about the parking lot, of my gym, above my head, above my apartment, the multiple ones. And like I said, at this point, again, I keep pretty calm, but like I said, when you go through something like this, you kind of don't believe it. Like anyway, I got the video. Anyway, so this one, I think if it was anybody else, they'd probably be freaked out. This next UFO sighting was, and like I said, all this was in I'll say a week and a half, 3 weeks span with these UFO sightings. It wasn't like 1 year, and even though my first UFO sighting was back in 2018, but we just gonna keep it current right now. All these sightings I got as of late was just within a couple days. Um, and like I said, the third UFO sighting, I'm in my apartment this time. I'm just playing back in my head right now. I s- I got the proof, man, but it's just like it don't do it justice of what you see. But in my apartment, I forgot which I forgot which day it was. I go to the timestamp of my phone, I get it. But right now I'm in my apartment. It's clear day. I got my curtains facing. I got the curtains, deck, and deck is facing out. Apartments next over. Then you got the open sky. I got the curtains closed 60%. In my food, there's only 40% of the sky that I can see. Um, and then you got the sky, you got the apartments, you got the deck. As far as my view, the UFO or the craft manifested itself or appeared in the sky that I had open curtains. Like it was, and I'm saying to myself, no way, nope, bleaking way. I pick up my phone because mind you, I got two other sightings at this point. So now it's like make sure I have my phone. Pick my phone up. I go to my deck, and it's like clockwork. Or it's like I don't know what the crafts are thinking. It's like it's showtime. And like I said, you got these one when it's multiple ones. But I got video with this one. It's just one. It materializes out of thin air. Like does that chameleon thing where it appears and it's see through, solid, see through, and it's a solid form, like a solid marble up in the air, and it's just slowing down, going like 5 miles an hour. No, I always say nonchalant because they move pretty fast, supersonic speed, but they can just, I guess they can hit nonchalant and just be granny gearing it and just cruising. So it cruises across, open, no sound. All these are no sounds, man. You hear birds chirping, you hear everything in the videos, man. No sound that these crowds are making, and then my phone goes out of focus, and it goes out of focus. The craft disappears. I got it on video. It goes back. My camera goes back and refocus. It refocus and you see the craft. It's like glitches one more time. Gone. Bird sighting. I'm like, what the f?
So so just move on to the next encounter.
Um. So I think I have. All right. Okay. I don't have this video, but I give it to you in the order that everything. So on this particular night, if everybody watching Javante, Tank Davis knock out Frank Martin. I like both boxers, but this was the night that the boxing match happened. So it's like 12. The fight was over real late, so it's like Eastern time. It's probably like 2, 3. I don't know. I was still up that day. I get home or whatever from the fight or watching the fight, And of course, I had these UFO sightings, of course, weeks, so that's kind of still in the back of my mind. But anyway, Dr. Greer, if you look up him up, he's a UFO person, scientist, whatever. Before I had these multiple sightings, you know, I will look up stuff of the sort. But he said that if you want to get the aliens or craft's attention at night, the laser pointer, which I thought this guy was full of crap. Man, this thing ain't no way. These guys are, because I saw the video of him in a group using their laser pointers, and I that was like, ooh, look up in the sky. Like I don't they had the camera point towards them, and instead of oh, I don't know what it was, but anyway, Dr. Grill said use your laser pointer. So that's what I did, man. I thought I saw something in the sky on my deck, and I pointed my laser. Got an AR green dot. I went towards something I thought was a craft, and then it stopped. It stopped its flight pattern where it was going up in the sky above my apartments, 3 in the morning. Stopped. I think like two other lights, star-looking things gathered up, and they went back was over my head. This was probably the scariest I've been. Whole thing. I haven't been scared, but just like this, I would say terrified because it was 3 in the morning, and the three lights covered over up in the air. All this is high up in the air. I mean, I don't know how many feet so high in the air, but out of the three lights, two of them illuminated like bright, super bright, and I threw my hands up in the air, like it was like the cops or something. Like again, no sound, but the lights were just so kind of bright, like it was a cop or something, or up in the air, but again, floating there. My hands in the air said, I said, I'm scared in my head. And yeah, that was the next sighting, I would say. Even though I don't have a video, I don't really count that because I don't have the video of that, so I don't really count it. But that's what happened. Yeah, that was that sighting.
So at this point, you've had these encounters. Again, I'm gonna ask you, what do you think this means? And then before I get the mic back to you, I'm gonna read this what it says here. That in the world, people go to worship God, but in reality, God selects people to worship Him. And so I think what's happening to you and other people is the ultimate initiation. And that initiation is when, the Most High begins to, bring you into this other reality. And so I'm listening to you, and I think that's what's happening. You're being initiated from your ancestry, and whatever whatever your descent came from, you're being chosen for what actually comes next. And if we go back to, and the reason why I say this is because, the elites in this world, they know the history of these crafts. They know the history of our people. They know that. And so, like it says here, the Almighty scattered them. He scattered their rulers in these crafts. And so when you're seeing them, other people are seeing them, we need to know that, okay, they got, the United States military, Russia got a military, China got a military, but black people don't have a military. And yet here, this is our military manifesting itself before us, because it clearly tells us that he scattered these rulers in it, and what do you think he did? He punished them with these crafts. That's why there's no evidence of our true history. Yeah, you got the history in Europe when we were ruling in Europe, but there's no, we can't go back 1,000 years because he destroyed all of that. He took all of that away when he began to destroy them when they came up. You know what I'm saying? But let me go back to this, because I believe what our ancestors wrote, all of this. You know what I'm saying? And I think that this is where things go, uh, at this point for all of us that are trying to get out of this wicked world. As you mentioned with the rappers and all the stuff that's happening. When will we say enough is enough? We have to like make an exodus from these people, man. Like some of these black people, like I told you, they are not like us, and they're doing whatever they want to do. But I think that this is one of the keys here. You know, the Lord is saying, "Ye worship, ye know not what." We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews, and that's why it's so important for black people to know and counter this lie that we weren't the Jews, but we are the Jews. And he's saying that the salvation or this liberation is going to come for us. So that's why I think that if you add everything up from what he's saying, because he spoke in Matthew's about the angels coming down to gather up his elect. Well, he's not gathering up another type of people. He's only gathering up his people, which are these same people. Even if you believe the people that say that they're the Jews today, but they are not the Jews, you would have to assume that all of this is being done for whoever the Jews are. And I know from the records that this is black people. And so if you don't know that salvation is for black people, you don't know what you worship. And at some point, something has to trigger and say, now, Joshua, I want you to begin to understand who you are, what you are, so that you can do what? Be chosen, right? The Most High is the one that's choosing you to acknowledge him. And how does he do it? Through events like this, these UFO encounters. And so I think all of this is not a mistake. I don't think it's a mistake.
And so you had asked a question earlier. You think that I think you did. Were they trying to communicate with me? Like I said, I just thought that I was at the right place at the right time. But every time I seen the crafts, man, it's always the initial shock and of just seeing it, and it's like I don't know why it allows you know the crafts is allowing me the time to get my phone and at least point into the sky. Um, and there's so much stuff is going on, man. I took a shot of the sky near my apartments above, and it was beautiful, beautiful shot, clear clarity. And I said, man, I didn't catch anything, didn't get no UFO or anything. But one day, man, I didn't erase it. One night I couldn't sleep. I go back and go back through that video that I shot, and just like all the other one, man, these crabs are right there, up there, moving in supersonic speeds. Like I said, they got granny gear when they're super slow, but man, like they're so fast. And it's like you need special like I said, if we get with the right people, right intentions to study these videos, break it down, like just with my iPhone, man, and what I pick up, man, the maneuvers that they're doing, ducking behind clouds, they're translucent coming in, and they're just doing so many craziest things. And let me just get back on hand. When he said no, I think they're trying to communicate with me. So I had the third sighting by my balcony. Like I said, this time that I definitely thought it was trying to communicate, because like I said, when it showed up in the sky, where only because I had the curtains closed, like I have most of the curtains closed, and but anyway, yes, I think that day it was trying to communicate because it showed itself, it allowed me to go to the deck to film it. It appeared. Now the fourth sighting is probably like the craziest one. Besides the multiple 70 to 80 of them, this last one, um, I'm like the craziest one because the night before I seen this craft from my balcony, the third or fourth time, whatever. I'm sitting in my living room. I got the curtains closed, but it's how you have two curtains, you still have that gap. And I just remember, because I had these years of experience. I look to the right, that little crack between the two curtains at night had this one star. Like it was so noticeable. I ain't call it UFO. I just say it's a star, right? Because it's a nighttime, so I'm still calling it a star at this point. But it was just a coincidence. It was just kind of crazy that that little star was in between the two curtains. Now this about to tie down to my last UFO sighting. I think the following day, I was supposed to go to the gym. I didn't go to the gym for whatever reason. Um, it's probably like 6:30, about to be 7. It's still light out and it's about to be dark. I got my curtains closed, super closed. That's probably maybe like a small inch, millimeters, millimeters. Oh, I don't know what to measure, but it was. If you know your curtains, you close it up. You had that tiny, tiny gap. You want, that tiny, tiny gap. So I'm minding my business in my apartment this time, and then I don't know, man. The light from that little crack caught my eye, and I'm looking like, what the heck, like catching my eye like this for a light to be that bright, and then I'm like, hey, man, it's about to be dark, so it has to be a plane just turning their lights on and getting ready to, fly over the apartment. Coming towards that way. I go outside, I see the ball of light, and I'm still waiting for the plane to come forward. I don't hear no sound, but then I notice it's just hovering there. It's hovering there over the apartment next to mine, near the trees. And just hovering. Of course, I get the initial shot wears off. I start recording, and it's just flickering, raw and no sound, flickering or whatever. And then I'll say probably like 20 seconds goes by. The light condenses down to the little marble, and it just flies off to the left. And it's like that one's for sure trying to get my attention because ain't no way in the world that the light can just catch me in that little crack of the curtains, get my attention, hover there, condenses the light down to the small baby. Like it was like even the light just like I'm not even saying like the craft itself floating, but just even the light itself. You know how like you got your backlight on your iPhone? That's what it was. You still got that light there, and that's what it did. It condenses down and into the little marble size light, and it just flew off. And I got it on camera, man. So yeah, man, this is where we're at now. We're all the way in this thing.
So ironically, you said that you describing it as a star, and that goes back to my mind when when Christ was born. That's what they described it as, that they have seen his star in the east, and there's pictures and enactments and postcards and all of this stuff. But what did they really see? They saw his personal craft. They saw his personal UFO in the sky. And how do I know that? Because it says right here, after Mary gave birth to him, right? All the angels came down from heaven, right? And so how did they come down? Well, we're just told in Psalms that the angels dwell inside of these UFOs. And so what did they see? They saw all of those angels. What you're seeing in the sky is what they saw, right? And so this is like yeah, yeah, they seen them all in the sky.
I got it on video.
And so what you're seeing in your account goes right back to, like I said, it goes right back to these chariots of these spirits. And in these spirits, like when somebody pass away, they're not there, right, in the cemetery. They up there, and they're up there, and you're going to see, the governments try to attack these things. They already tried, and you're going to see this war play out, like the War of the Worlds, like that Tom Cruise movie. What is it called? Yeah, that's what it's called, the War of the Worlds.
One thing I guess because I don't be calling police or anything like that when I see the crafts or anything. Like if the government, I don't think they got much control or any control because at least when locking in on them because the craft clearly like they're too fast. They move at supersonic speed, and then every time I see every time I see like the craft, I don't see like multiple planes. I don't see like activity. I still see like the regular commercial planes. Now, I would say the first sighting that I saw back in 2018 here in Manassas, Virginia, um, my ex fiance, she was there too. I would say that when I saw the craft do what it did to the clouds, like it pretty much made the clouds disappear. And like that was my first time seeing the craft. Like first of all, he was doing stuff with the clouds, making the clouds gather up into a ball. And then from there, I noticed that the clouds was going to this one particular spot in the sky and was just disappearing. And I'm telling my ex fiance like, you see this? You see this? And then out of that spot where the clouds was disappearing in the thin sky, the marble popped out of that. And that was my first UFO sighting back in 2018. And to be honest, you probably this guy whoever listened to it, you probably think I'm lying, but I got the not the video, but I got the marble. I got the marble over the shoppers, and I got the video of the clouds gathering up into a ball. And then not to mention all these videos I got with ones in 2024, like within a couple, so it's like it's one thing to and even if I didn't have the footage, that's my story was still right there it's still worth having an interview on. But when you got the video, man, it's on a whole different level then. Because it's like you got the testimony and you got the video too.
I'm gonna go back to that War of the Worlds movie. Did you see it?
Oh,
All right, so in that movie, remember when the aliens come down and they start hitting people with the laser beams and they turn them to dust?
yeah. Oh.
Well, that dust, right? That dust gets on us. And the people that remain, right, is going to have to lick that dust off our feet, right? And so this is what these elites are afraid of, these people that rule this planet. They're afraid of this, celestial society coming back and taking back control of the earth. And that movie is showing you, some of the things that's a really good movie because they showing you the laser beams, they showing you how they come down, they showing you go down into the earth. How they basically through the electricity or lightning, they come back down into the earth and basically, they don't show it in that film, but that's what they're trying to say is that they're going to start to regenerate us back on the earth. And the governments are afraid of that. You know what I mean? Because what do you do with a people? Like if you hung me, right? If you hung me back in slavery days or any day, or you beat me or you raped me or you did all of these things to me, the worst thing that you would want as a government is for the people that suffered the abuse under your government to ever return. And that's why they're so afraid of this whole phenomena. It's bigger than just the UFOs. It's bigger than just, one thing. It's bigger than a lot of things. But your story is a part of that. Your name, your everything. And my vote that the fact that, you sitting here, that I'm sitting here, that's like what do you call it? In wrestling, that's a double threat. You know what I mean? Because they don't want people who have this capability that, that the operator, which they call the Lord, operating these things and beginning to wake us up. And that's the thing is that we have to get woke and stay woke.
It's like, we go way back, man. Me and you go way back, man. When I first started working for you from your moving company, we had like our little talks about, religion and our little day, but we didn't have no UFO talk or anything. We didn't have, it was nothing nowhere near or anything. We just, and like we locked back in on the fact that you were such a good person, good boss. I just had a job where I had some extra time, so I said, let me just reach back out to a good boss, man, who I can make a little extra money with, and lo and behold, it somehow we that UFO stuff happened. I think I mentioned something, or then you said you had your experience, and then we just been tied in and down this thing together.
And one of yours happened. One of yours happened on my birthday, May 30th. Yeah. 6/11.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
On the day, yeah. And that's the one where I thought I didn't get any. There was that one I thought I didn't get anything, and then it was like the multiple ones. It was like a curveball, and but yeah, man. I still don't know what I'm gonna do. With the videos, I got my testimony, but I mean, I seen a bunch of UFO stuff on good ones too, and I'm pretty sure there's a bunch that they do take down, and really good ones that they really do take down, undeniable stuff. But we'll put these videos together. We are, and it's just like done the right way or not. I'm just saying the video was there. The video pace it does it. You know, you just look at it, but I want to do it in a way of like just do it. Take my time with it, and because it's like even if you're not a UFO person or if or whatever, it's like wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't you want somebody to come tell you like, hey man, I've been seeing. You might think I'm crazy, but I'm seeing these crafts. I got video of them multiple times. I'm telling you the maneuvers, and then one of the videos I got, man, and I'll cut it short, but the- when I was looking for this craft, trying to put the video, trying to get the video in the sky, face the sky. I thought I only got that one video of that little portion of the craft just appearing over my gym. But I went back into the phone, went back into the original shot when I first initially started to record, and you know how it shows you recording the floor or whatever you facing before you face the sky. And as soon as my camera gets on the sky, I'm thinking this little dot is like some light, but you go back, man, it's super fast. The UFO was homing in on my phone and putting itself in the frame so I can record it the whole entire time. And the maneuver is doing because I can press play. It's moving so crazy. It's like it's on another some cartoons, like some cartoon stuff. Like it's just moving on its own speed, own gravity, own whatever it is. It's here, but the rules doesn't apply to the craft as far as gravity or movement because disappearing, super speed, warp speeds. But yeah, it was doing all that.
No, but I mean, because they're in a different form than us, so they can travel at speeds of light. We can't travel like that in these forms, and that's why in the Bible it speaks about the redemption of our body. Well, what is it talking about? Us changing back into those forms that the elements don't apply to us here. We're not going to be restricted. These walls won't restrict us. We'll be able to walk through their walls. We'll be able to access, water. We don't have to go look for water. We'll just, think of water and water will appear. And so this is a totally different environment than what we're used to down here. Yeah. And that's slow. But yeah, you got anything else you want to conclude?
Just um keep like honestly, man, if you're into the stuff, just I always say I don't know how it works with the crafts and being able to see them, and they got their own thing. I really think they pick because of the speed they got. They pick when they want to be seen. They pick. I'm gonna say they pick who want to see them because I got these consecutive moments where it's putting itself in frame and like it's all kinds of stuff that they're allowing me to see. And but I say that to say like I just said keep your eye to the sky. But with my case, man, I don't like. It's like I don't. It's like when I don't look for it, it just happens. And I'm not saying it keeps happening. I'm just giving you my testimony between the 16th and then probably like a couple days ago, as far as my UFOs experience. I may not see another one, or whatever. I may not, but I'm just saying like that's my experience from the 16th, from the first time I seen a craft at the gym, You got above my apartments. In my apartment, I'm seeing them from the balcony 3 different times. I'm pointing to the sky above my apartments. They're super fast, and there's a bunch of them. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know why I'm able to capture all these videos. I don't know. I don't got. This is my last message. And I just don't know. This is my real opinion right now. But we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna do our best to figure it out. But right now, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what's going on.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to end it. And then you got to come back again, man. You know what I mean? And then, talk about the other stuff that we talked about. And hopefully, pull some more people out of the woodworks.
Yeah, man.